Hi, it's me from the Welcome to Wonderland podcast. Are you looking for the perfect blend of nostalgia and patriotism in your wardrobe? Look no further than ZJZ Designs, available now at zjzdesigns.com. Their exclusive t-shirt collection features stunning designs like the iconic Plymouth Barracuda print, taking you back to the golden era of muscle cars. Show your love for your country with their bold patriotic heart designs that stand out and make a statement. From car enthusiast to proud patriot, ZJZ Designs has something special just for you. Head to ZJZ Designs and elevate your style. Visit zjzdesigns.com or check the show notes.
Barrett again from What the Pod Was That and the All About Nothing podcast for Everplay Sports and Social League. Fall registration is open now for a bunch of leagues, including Wednesday and Thursday kickball at B and M Avenues in West Columbia, Tuesday super recreational kickball at B Avenue in West Columbia, indoor volleyball on Mondays and Tuesdays at the Tri-City Leisure Center in West Columbia, softball on Sundays and Mondays at Pacific Park in Columbia, Tuesday 10-week bowling at Bolero in Casey, Wednesday soccer in West Columbia, pickleball on Mondays at the Casey Tennis and Fitness Center. Registration for all fall leagues is open through August 21st, except Tuesday bowling at Bolero. Registration is open through August 5th. Also, registration is now open for 3 to 4-person teams for the 8th Masters of Putt-Putt at Frankie's Fun Park on Friday, August 23rd. Sign up now as this event will sell out. Register by August 22nd. It's a lot of fun, and if you're in the Columbia area, you should definitely sign up now. So check out everplaysocial.com for details and registration. Everplay Sports and Social League. Play, socialize, and have fun.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
For this Afterthoughts with Bill, we're only going to spend a few minutes on this, but Joe Biden dropped out of the race, which I think we suspected would probably wind up happening, but it was, I think what we're seeing from the perspective of the excitement over this, the presumptive nominee is going to be Kamala Harris. And what are our thoughts? John, I'll start with you on that.
No, I think it's a very brave thing to do for the nation. I can't imagine how hard that would be for Joe to do, but I'm excited for Kamala Harris. I'm excited to see what she can sort of bring to this, sort of the youngest person we've had in office in
literacy.
a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, automatically, the idea of Joe Biden being the oldest candidate for president ever, that's dropped off. Now Donald Trump is the oldest nominee in the history of our country. So,
and the dumbest.
Yeah.
I want to see a debate so bad.
I do too.
I've been thinking that same thing. I was like, they have to do one more, right? Because
I don't think
Trump instantly came out and said,
I'll debate
Kamala
Georgia.
Harris. Yeah, he was like, Joe can come back and do one more. But he instantly said that Kamala would be easier to beat than Joe Biden.
That's always his thing.
But all right, then put your money where your mouth is. And he talked shit on the golf course because he had the nerve to say, "I don't play golf so much." You just filmed a special with a whole golf YouTube team.
Yeah.
You dork. You're like the audacity of this dude.
Bill, from the perspective of someone under the age of 25, and you don't have to give your opinion on whether you think, but I want the perspective of someone in that gen. I'm not actually sure what generation are you in, Bill?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Yeah,
So-
I would be Gen Z.
Bet no cap.
What is the perspective of a Kamala Harris candidacy or nomination from that age group?
What are the children thinking?
I can tell you this: a lot of my friends are very happy that it's Kamala Harris. I do want to say this. I personally, I don't golf the polls anymore. We went over a long thing with Alan Lichtman.
Yep.
We went over a bunch of stuff about the 13 keys to the White House.
Right.
And while I believe Kamala Harris is a strong candidate, very young, I think she's going to be able to perform much better at speaking and everything else than Joe Biden. I do think it did hurt the Democratic Party to essentially gut their incumbent president as far as Democrats go.
Sure.
Again, my generation. I mean, look, you look at the brat aesthetic that Kamala Harris has picked up and the money that was raised. I think she's doing a good job so far. I mean, just a few days into announcing her candidacy, that essentially that she has appealed to Gen Z. I mean, there's a lot of people that are upset about not exactly directly voting for her, right? Which, number one, I don't know who's watching this, but your vote doesn't technically count as far as population goes. You vote, and it's supposed to go to the electorals, so you don't directly vote for the president. They're talking about democracy. People have been using this word a lot. And then the second thing is that Kamala Harris was elected to be vice president by the Electoral College. That did happen, unless you're a Trumper and you think that that did not happen or that Trump is still president. But,
always the journalist, Bill.
Yeah. But essentially, I think Kamala Harris is a decent candidate. I'm glad to see that the Democratic Party has united behind her. And of course, as a journalist, I can't endorse any politician directly.
And to the tune of 72 hours after the number I saw today was $137 million raised in 72 hours.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that was astounding. Yeah,
It's breaking records.
It's breaking records. I will say that I believe 80 million, wasn't it 80 million raised in 24 hours? And we do, to be honest about the numbers, some of that was inherited from Joe Biden's campaign.
It was,
Well, and I think we woke up this morning to over 100,000. It's like, just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was, and some of that money was being held on to by some of the super PACs to release once Joe Biden did make a decision on whether or not he was staying in. I think
I said 1,000. I think it was 100 million.
Yeah, it was 100. It was 100 million within 36 hours. 100 million, and we're 72 hours out now, and the number was 137 million. So basically,
and Bill, you don't have to endorse a candidate, but not living in a hellscape.
I think I mean, I can say, I mean, you're gonna hear me probably bash Trump's policies more than anything that comes out of the Democratic Party, but
from I guess I want some opinions on who we potentially think would be the best running mate for a presidential nomination of Kamala Harris.
I got mine.
I have a strong opinion. I kind of want to hear John's first, though.
Yeah, John. Give some.
I mean, I do want to hear you guys', but so mine are all. See, I think that Pete's probably gonna be my favorite of them because I think he makes the best ticket.
And Pete don't take no shit.
No, and Pete doesn't take any shit, and I think it's like he'd be a lot of fun, especially because you look at JD Vance and Hillbilly Elegy and just basically shitting on all of Appalachia, right? I mean, just making it seem like we're all idiots and we couldn't, and we just had, if we just wanted to work harder, we'd all be.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the bumper stickers that get invented by the Trump.
Well, I mean, my favorite part is his face keeps getting smaller and smaller on his head. Or they're calling him 5'7", and he just keeps losing his mind about it. So it's so good.
That's great.
We talked about, you weren't here for it, but we talked about the couch memes that have been going around. There may be no validity, but the face fits the meme.
Yeah.
It's just there. Keep them away for your lazy boys and your good, nice furniture.
Yeah,
exactly.
Zach, who are you pulling for?
Pete.
Yeah. So
the
that's two Pete's.
Downs. Pete has stooped down to handed out beat downs, and I'm loving it. When they're just pressing him over, he's like, I don't want to hear anything about your zero energy. He goes, well, when your car uses zero energy but is powered by a coal plant, it's better than the coal plant and you also polluting. He's like, I don't understand how math works. Pete Buttigieg is just sitting there destroying these dudes. He's like, well, don't make this argument. Well, I'm going to make the argument because it's a good one and you just don't like good arguments.
Well, and you could tell he really confused. I'm not even sure who it was that he was talking to in the committee, but you could tell
older white man,
older white guy. Yeah. You could tell he really confused him when he started talking about braking and I was waiting for him to go into a definition of how kinetic energy works.
Yes. Do you know objects in motion tend to stay in motion? Fucking hell. Regenerative braking.
But you use regenerative braking, and you can actually use that energy to reduce the amount of energy that you use when you hit the gas pedal.
Our what do we call it? The perpetual motion machine we have going on here.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love the idea of a machine that puts out more power than it takes in. That would be wonderful.
Republicans at the same time will fight you on EV, which regenerates like 25% of the battery that you're using it for. Yeah. But we'll also like the TikTok video that shows you a perpetual motion machine that runs off magnets.
And yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about thermodynamics real quick.
Yeah, while trying to hide the power cord that's running the machine under the mat that the dog sleeps on. Yeah,
exactly.
Bill, who are you pulling for?
Well, look, I got to say, Pete is a very strong. I mean, he's a very, very good debater. He's an excellent, political candidate. I think he will run for president one day, or again. He already ran once, but I think he would run again. For pure strategy sake. I mean, some people want to see like Newsom, but then you have 2 California tickets. Yeah. You can't do it.
You're not allowed
to. For pure strategy. I would recommend Roy Cooper.
Okay.
Roy Cooper is an older white guy from North Carolina.
Kentucky's governor?
He's the governor of North Carolina.
Governor of North Carolina. He's very pro-choice. I think he's also a really good speaker. Of course, he's not as well known, or I would say as good of a speaker as Pete Buttigieg. But I would say that as far as the Electoral College goes, which is a huge deal, I think it would really help pull North Carolinians and Georgians to vote, be more excited to vote for a Southern Democrat.
Yeah.
I think the chances would be better. Again, you could also make the argument that Shapiro from Pennsylvania would be a solid choice because it would help the Rust Belt states. But at this point, I would say Cooper, as far as a VP pick for this ticket, would be a strong contender for pure strategy sake.
Yeah.
CNN was asking Kentucky's governor if he would.
Yeah, there's that one too.
What about Warnock?
So I think
Warnock would be very interesting.
Right, so that would be a good speaker.
Ticket.
Yeah, when I look at the potential senators that they could potentially tap to be the VP pick for Harris, I think one of the things that I keep going back to is that if it's a senator if it's a senator that's not running for re-election currently, then you have to weigh that senator being from a state with a Republican governor. If you tap Raphael Warnock or Ossoff in Georgia, then they're going to get immediately replaced with a Republican senator. So that takes away a senator out of the Senate.
Plus, I need to know that Warnock respects the Second Amendment. I'm sorry, you're still a reverend, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, so Shapiro in Pennsylvania, I think he's extremely popular in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a must-win state, regardless of Georgia. Georgia is a good win state if she can pick it up, but it leans so far to the right now, just based on the polling data. So and North
you don't
Carolina,
have Stacey Abrams assisting you did in 2020.
Yeah, she's definitely not as involved as she had been in years past.
She got us a big dub. She needs a breather.
I don't blame her. She's writing what, her 6th book. She stars in Star Trek now. I mean,
she did something that South Carolina can only hope to do within 15 years.
South Carolina. John and I got to see Warnock speak at the Democratic dinner.
You were the only person who didn't get a selfie, or was it Matt? Matt got selfies. You did get a selfie.
I didn't get one with Warnock. I got one with everybody else.
I did get to shake Warnock's hand and tell him that my mother sent out countless postcards for him. But I didn't get a selfie with him. I did get a selfie with Cory Booker.
Cory Booker was the one that Matt was shitting on everybody.
But Cory Booker is a machine. Like
yes.
he And I'm hoping eventually we'll get Cory Booker on the podcast because
well, John, I told Barrett. I said you need to.
I've got his assistant's business card. So
I told Barrett we need to know where his fiance is.
Oh yeah.
Rosario Dawson.
You know what's funny is Preach and I were going back and forth as to if she's there, which one of us she would go home with. And it actually turned into a little bit of an awkward conversation because Cory Booker was standing next to us at the time, and but
he's like me, you nerds.
So Mark Kelly is Arizona, and he's one of the names that's been mentioned several times as a potential VP pick. The good news is he comes from Arizona, and Arizona's got a Democratic governor. The bad news is they'll have to hold a special election to replace him, and the potential is that seat could wind up going to someone that was less in favor of personal rights.
I think we're going to get Pete. I think Pete needs to be the one.
I would lean more towards Pete because you don't necessarily lose anything. You don't lose anything by having Pete.
You gain everything, I think, that one.
Yeah.
Completely. And I think that's exactly what the Democrats should be doing is setting up the progression of this is the next generation of politicians in the Democratic Party, and Pete Buttigieg ultimately fills every single gap.
Well, and as a president and vice president, you can support the new seat that Pete has voided.
Oh yeah, well you get
easily in appointment.
She'll get to pick her cabinet as soon as she comes in, and the potential is she'll retain some of the cabinets, probably some of the as far as the military goes, she will probably retain a lot of the military. Chris Wray is probably going to stay on as director of the FBI. He's been in
Bernie
there now
Sanders.
since Bernie Sanders. Yeah. You could put. I mean, you could tap.
I'll tell you this. Kamala gives me very much Scary Mom vibes at times.
Oh yeah,
but you know it's important. That she's right about it. Like she like a school teacher. She was a judge, right? So like
she was a prosecutor and district attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so she's handed out beatdowns.
Oh yeah.
She very much knows what you need at times before you know you need it.
Yeah.
She literally has Scary Mom energy at times for me, but I'm just like, yes. Like, I need you to tell me what we need to do.
I think one of the things that I really love about the Kamala Harris presidency is.
Am I saying it wrong?
Kamala. Or no,
Kamala.
Kamala.
It's Kamala. So
Kamala.
I say Kamala.
I'm saying it wrong.
I am right. I'm sorry, your name's confusing. We mean it in good jest. Like
there's no disrespect intended, but so Kamala. As Kamala Harris, a President Harris, I think.
Kamala.
A President Harris. I'm just going to keep saying President
Let's
Harris.
do that. VP Harris.
Put it in the universe; it'll happen. I think so. One of the greatest things about some of the things that I'm hearing as far as her candidacy and her potential nomination, and the likelihood that she'll be nominated, is that she literally prosecuted individuals and businesses in California for everything that Donald Trump has either been convicted of already or is accused of and indicted for. Like I want there to be all the debates that Donald Trump says that he would do. Because to get her up there on stage and not let him get away with anything.
She knows the scratches on his back and how they're made.
You've also got to understand too. Donald Trump donated money to her campaign in 2011 and 2013, so she has that under her belt too.
Well, he donated to Hillary Clinton's Senate campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then he
became a shell for whoever.
Yeah.
Because I just watched today 2 videos, one hilarious, one just like, what are you talking? He's like, I'm very pro-choice. I don't like abortion or anything about it, but I'm very pro-choice. Maybe it's the New York in me. That was his big why I'm saying what I'm saying is because it's very New York of me. Then he was on Orange County Choppers watching his motorcycle gelded in gold. I was just like, All right.
Do any of us think that Donald Trump has ever ridden a motorcycle?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he didn't ride this one. He was like, people ride those?
One
Yeah,
time.
I'm gonna say maybe
That
once.
that might have been when he sustained the injury that produced what he is now.
No, that's when he tipped it over when he sat on it.
He probably actually was just riding a moped. I mean,
He just sat on it. It looked cool.
yeah.
Have y'all seen the AI video thing of him at the rally he got his ear pierced at? And he's at the podium and then an AI turns it into a motorcycle. My brother sent it to me and I was like, this is the man of all people that I've ever seen couldn't ride a motorcycle.
Yeah,
I
there's
put
no
my
way.
mother on it before that.
There was I saw, and I don't think it was real, but there was a guy on TikTok who posted a video that was just a screenshot of Donald Trump's explanation as to why he doesn't have like half of his ear blown off, and it was that the doctors said that he had the fastest growing ear they've ever seen in their entire life.
It's like a starfish.
It's just like those bone spurs. As soon as Vietnam was over, bam, he was back on the golf course.
Yeah.
Best bone spurs in the business.
Well, so the only facts that actually came out of that, as far as like his recovery and things like that, was that he got shot or he sustained some sort of injury related to the potential assassination.
You also saw the Kennedy Jr.'s like leaked video, right, of him talking to Trump. He's like, it sounded like the loudest mosquito you've ever heard.
Yeah, it was. But they said apparently the doctors that actually treated him, they have said that it was basically, so the doctors can't come out and say it, but it has been leaked that it was merely a scratch.
The doctors did come out and say it. They have violated HIPAA and everything.
Yeah, I don't think they actually did. I don't know if that's real, but that there has been a leak that has indicated that it was likely just a scratch and it didn't even require stitches.
My God, the president came. He's wounded.
I want to see.
He's like, right here. I'm on a gurney. It's right
ultimately, I want to see the ear, and I'm going to keep saying the same thing. If he wants to promote his machismo, just show us the ear.
I hope he does the ear tuck thing from here on out. Just like the hat's way too big and it's tucked under the hat.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're all pretty excited about a potential President Harris.
A powerful black woman.
I do have one thing to say. I'm sure y'all might not agree with me.
If it's about Ken Ham, we might
put out our fire.
I just have to say, I do believe, once again, we've been over this before with the 13 keys and the excitement. Yeah. You've seen how close I've had the election set when it was Joe Biden versus Trump.
Yes.
I am concerned. Again, Alan Lichtman is a guy that I really follow and think he's predicted essentially actually he just has predicted every election. He'll be probably making a statement in September. I do think to give Kamala Harris the upper hand, that Joe Biden should resign as president.
Yeah,
and allow her to become president to inherit the incumbency key in November.
I thought that's what was happening when Barrett said that.
Yeah, I've thought about that as well. I would, Joe Biden could even announce that his resignation date will be on, November 1st, so that she has that incumbency going into it. But there are things that I would like to see Joe Biden do before he leaves office, and that's an executive order to go ahead, give the Department of Justice the time that they need in order to move marijuana from the Schedule 1 narcotics down to Schedule 3 legally, through their process. But he could sign an executive order and go ahead and just move it now. It won't even have time to get litigated in the courts before the Department of Justice gets to make a decision on it.
When's he supposed to speak on this? What, isn't it soon?
He on the marijuana thing?
Well, because his stepping down.
Well, has he said anything about stepping down?
Nobody's said anything about it, but I mean, everybody suspects it's going to be the DNC.
Right.
He's gonna. Oh, see, that would be good too. But
that's what I heard.
If I was on Joe Biden's staff, the thing I would be telling him is, or the thing I would be trying to convince him of is, Let's pack the court. Let's go ahead and get 4 more justices in there. File an executive order to move marijuana. File an executive order that legalizes abortion across all 50 states and territories.
I think we're going to get a salvo. I think we're going to get a salvo of things.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do a lot. I mean, especially what they made it with, like, you know, after the whole Trump ruling of like what a presidential power is.
Yeah.
You could do.
Oh, it's unlimited now, right? Like, and he's immune to it because he did it when he was president. So
right, and then well, then you can also. There's a lot of things that could happen, but we'll see.
Yeah.
He literally could just sit down and write fucking Scooby Doo, like, Bill, and be done with it.
But Bill, you're absolutely right. I think maintaining the set. What is she? What did he? Excuse me. He had 8 keys that were true.
It's very right, and with this happening, they lose the incumbency key, and also the fact that there will be a party contest. Now, whether that is, I do not believe that the party contest will be less than 2/3 of the vote. So I would say that would still stay, but to increase their chances of winning, which is essentially what this is supposed to do, I do believe he should do what you're saying. It's pure strategy's sake. Do that, resign, let Kamala Harris become president right now, let her go ahead and make the VP pick, whoever that may be. I don't know who that would be yet. Again, it could be Cooper. Buttigieg would be a strong contender, and it would help nationwide. Her vote, I think she would also excite, like you were talking about, I think she would excite my generation and millennials to go out and vote. What they're calling her, the DEI president, and it's like, yeah, that's what Gen Z is looking for. I mean, even then, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They're saying it's like it's a nasty word.
Right. Let's give credit to the clairvoyant Nikki Haley as well. Barrett and I talked about this because Nikki Haley goes, there will be no Trump presidency. It's going to be a woman president. It's me or Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And look what's happening. So put her on your Mystic staff, even though she went to Clemson. Whatever drug she's huffing, she was right.
John, you look like you have something you want to say.
No, I was thinking of the worst possible ticket. I was thinking if Harris and Nikki Haley ran together, it would just be.
Oh God. It's a lose-lose, right?
I've thought a lot about Harris RFK. It wouldn't happen, but that would be crazy.
My favorite would be if it was Pence, just like the amount of like.
Oh my God! Yeah, you would have to watch out for Pete to come and stab him in the neck with a letter opener. Yeah. It'd be a red wedding, red election.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy. Or Chris Christie. That'd be interesting. Oh, did your camera go out? Uh-oh.
I'm now the host. Carter ran good.
I'm back.
All right, he's back.
Long live the king. The king is back.
Zach, for 0.8 milliseconds, you
were before that happens again, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. John, thank you very much for sticking around for Thoughts with Bill. Everybody listening, John Zabel's candidacy is for District 46 in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Ooh, messed that up. Almost Charlotte, but no, it's not. It's Rock Hill, South Carolina. District 46, the website is johnzabel.com. Links in the show notes, so check those out. All donations welcome.
We all hate David Tepper.
You know, it's a good closing. You can have nothing else in the service.
And that's it.
David Tepper is an asshole. And here I am back. Car ran good. Great episode, guys.
Long live the king.
Zach,
Bill, thank you. Also, Barrett, I will tell him as well. But no, I appreciate it, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Bill, thank you for having it. And keep your hands to yourself one more time unless Bill's got his catchphrase nailed.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
I got no camera.
I still have I can't remember what I said last week. That's all I think. I don't know.
His hands are anywhere.
Yeah. My phone camera.
Thank God we don't see Barrett's face. We're all in agreement. All right, boys, stay safe and have a week.
I can hear you. Just can't see you.
Can't see you.
All right.
We're all better for it.
Zach, finish it up.
Listen, guys, this has been Bill's thoughts.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. The All About Nothing podcast is produced and engineered by me, Barrett Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the producer. I am Barrett Gruber. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Barrett Gruber or visit my linktree /Barrett Gruber. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com, to become a member. There are several tiers available, including memberships that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. Visit theallaboutnothing.com. Find links to our social media, merchandise, and past episodes. Visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be heard on the show, you can call and leave us a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our partner podcast. Zach and I host What the Pod Was That with Carrie Simmons. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com for links and details. Me takes a deep dive down the rabbit hole in episodes of Welcome to Wonderland. Available on all the podcast platforms. Visit WTWLpod.com for details. As well, you can listen to the political and social conversation between Dr. Jamela Brooks and Bill Kimmler on Black, White, and Blue in the South. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please like and hit the notification bell. Thank you for listening. The preceding podcast is a product of Big Media and copyright 2024, all rights reserved.